All right, hello everybody. My name is John, also known as Enlightened Gardener, and today I'm going to be pruning my Monstera. I'm going to actually propagate a few of the most evolved leaves off of here just to create a nice, mature, but cleaner plant for myself, and then I'm going to send this mother plant off to one of my good friends. Okay, so I've had this plant for like a year and a half, and it's starting to take up just a little too much space. I've got plenty of vertical space for plants to grow, but this thing's also just reaching out, probably like almost 6 feet now. So I just want to clean it up and take some of these cuttings. If you don't know too much about Monsteras, these are very hardy plants, very vigorous growers. I've taken cuttings from these before. They always root super well. You can root them straight in water. What I prefer to do is to root them just in a soil mixture, because then I don't have to transfer them to soil later. I'm just going to stick them in, keep the soil nice and wet at first, and then once the roots developed, I'll begin to water it normally, which is just letting it dry out partway before I water it again. So as you can see, this plant has a lot of large, like juvenile leaves on it. So as the plant grows, each new leaf that comes out is going to be a little bit more evolved, as long as it's getting proper lighting. But so when I take the cuttings of these two leaves here, it's actually going to continue producing that next leaf in the line of its evolution. And so that's what I want. And taking cuttings is really, really easy. So let me just grab the camera and show you how to do this. Okay, so here we go. So you'll see this stuff everywhere. These are the aerial roots. So in the wild, it's going to grow these, and they're going to start to wrap around tree branches and trunks, and that's how it's going to attach itself and climb up. This is also the part that's going to form into new roots, either water roots or soil roots, when we take the cutting. So I'm going to cut below here, and that's going to leave these two nice leaves, and then this is going to become the new point of growth for my cutting. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm actually going to cut as low as I can, so there's this little extra bit of stem here that's just going to provide a little more support and help the plant stand upright in its new pot. Okay, so double check that I'm cutting the right spot, and boom. Okay, so there is one cutting done. So you can see these nice two leaves, little bit of stem, long aerial root. So we actually don't need that much aerial root. So what I'm going to do is chop it to about here. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to toss this in the compost bin. So there's one nice cutting there. So that's pretty cool. So this could start a whole new plant for somebody, but I'm going to make a couple more and pot them all together. Okay, so there are my 3 cuttings. All right, so I know this can be really nerve-wracking for people, especially if you've never done it before and you love your Monstera so much. This plant roots super well. It's super easy. Unless something really weird happens, there is almost 100% chance that you're going to have success with this. And my one warning would be to make sure you do it during the time of year when the plant is actively growing. So I waited until this started putting out a few new leaves this year, and then I'm making the cuttings. If you do it in the middle of winter, the plant might not have a ton of energy. So I'm doing this now at the start of spring, and I'm fully confident that all of these are going to grow some nice roots for me. Okay, so when you're potting these up, even though these are really large cuttings, and they're going to make a fairly large plant in a short amount of time, I don't want to stick these in the hugest pot I have, because then the soil is just going to stay too wet. So I'm going to put them into the smallest pot that I can use that will still allow them to stand upright on their own. And then once they've got a lot of roots and they're all tangled together, so this basically functions as one plant, then I'm going to pick it up out of there and move it into something a bit larger. So real quick, I just want to show you this mix that I'm using. So I've got 2 parts of chunky fir bark, 1 part of bark fines, which is the powder of the bark, everything from 1/8 inch and below, and then I'm doing 1 part of Turface MVP, and that's unsifted for this So it's gonna be a nice soil. It's gonna hold a lot of moisture. It's not gonna break down for a long time. And the turf is, especially those little rocks, they're gonna create lots of air pockets, so it'll be excellent for root growth. So it's gonna be a nice wet soil, but there's gonna be lots of aeration, excellent drainage, and it's gonna last me a very long time. All right, so here's my pot, and I have a little bit of screen that I cut and put in there so that I'm not gonna lose my soil. Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. All right, so I'm gonna try again because it's really not as upright as I want it to be. So I'm just gonna dump this out. All right, and I'm back. Okay, so I really wasn't happy with the way that looked when I potted it out. That one stalk was just laying down, going out. I was afraid to bend it. So what I ended up doing is I grabbed some garden Velcro, which is this cool green Velcro. It's reusable. You can cut it super easily with any normal pair of scissors. And I wrapped it around each of these cuttings up near the top where they're most flexible. So now I have them all pretty much vertically. It's definitely looking a lot better. And then all these leaves right now are really competing with each other. They will move and adjust to find better light for themselves. So over time, this is gonna start to look like a really nice, neat, and lush plant. So there we go. Time to go soak this thing in some water, get it fully saturated. And that is my new Monstera. Also, and I'm gonna do this in a bit, but these aerial roots are not important to the plant in the home setting unless it's growing up and it's climbing something. So for visual appearance, you can trim those anytime they get a little too long for your liking. You're not gonna harm the plant, it's totally fine. It's not using those roots for anything, it's just sending them out trying to find something to climb, but it will not hurt your plant at all to take those, unless perhaps the plant gets infected because you're cutting it with some dirty knife or something. So make sure your tools are nice and clean and sharp, but other than that, go ahead and cut them whenever you feel like. So I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you feel brave enough to try this for yourself one day, if not on a Monstera, just on any other plant which propagates by cuttings like this. And I still have this mama plant over here, which is looking pretty good still, so I think my friend will be happy with that. But again, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you found it helpful. If you did enjoy the video, please drop me a like or let me know what you think in the comments. And please check me out on Instagram at Enlightened Gardener. Thank you so much. I hope to see you in the next video. Okay, so there is the finished cutting in all of its glory. It's even got a cool pot and stand. Here's the mother plant. Okay, so that is cool. All of the leaves are highly evolved, and it's just nice and vertical and compact. So let's put it over here where it's gonna live next to its friends. Ta-da! Nice. Very happy with that.